And this is always a strange one when I ask the guests this, because I look at them straight in the eye and I say, what scares you? I had to ask Jocko Willink this, right? And it happened to also be on a naval warship here in London. You've probably seen Lessons from War. If you haven't seen it, go to our website, londonreal.tv. You can watch it for free. It's a documentary we did with Jocko. And we're on the HMS Belfast in London, and I asked the scariest Navy SEAL alive, what scares you? And he said, of course, nothing, which was Jocko's answer, which might be true. But I have to ask guests this question, and it usually reveals a lot to me about them. So I'm going to ask you all right now, what scares you? And be honest. The more honest you can be about this, the more successful you can be in your life. So be open and vulnerable. Vulnerability is something we all need to get comfortable with, because it's how we get to the next level. So what scares you? What is it? Is it a person? Is it a thing? Is it a feeling? Is it dying? Is it dying without impact? So type that in right now, and I'm going to answer this question for you, and I haven't thought about this, so let me answer this question. Brian, what scares you? What scares me? Well, if I think about this, what really scares me is, I was about to say death, but death isn't necessarily what scares me. And look, I was down in Costa Rica last year, and I had a really, really strong ayahuasca ceremony with a really strong dose of the medicine, and I basically died. I was dissolved, and don't get me wrong, it was not a fun experience to die, to get all of the life pulled out of you as a human. It's going to be one of the darker moments in my life, and it really sucked. It wasn't like, oh, now I'm into the next level and I could see the energy. I was fighting on for everything I could just to stay in this consciousness, and I think that's a healthy thing. I think we want to fight to be here because this is a wonderful experience to have, and I think we should fight to have this amazing sensory experience, to have the connection we can have with other people and the impact on the world. I think that's a beautiful thing we should fight for. But it wasn't just fearing death for me. What scares me is dying without doing what I need to do. So for me, there's just so much I want to do to make a maximum impact on this world and change human consciousness and change the course of where we're going as a human species. I feel like it's such an important thing for me to do, and I was put on this earth to do it. And so if I die before I get a chance, I'm going to feel like I wasted a chance to give something back that's so important. So that's what scares me. It's like not being able to do it, you know? So if I walk down the street later today and I get hit by a bus and I'm sitting there bleeding out on the street, I'm just gonna think, wow, that's really a waste. And so that's something that scares me. And it's just something I wanna tell you, and I'd love to hear you, what scares you? Because for me, it's really dying without that impact. And that's something I really think about. That. Also, making sure that I raise my children in the proper way, make sure my boys are men, and that my daughter is a woman, although she pretty much is a woman at this point because she's crushing it. I'm really proud of her, but I just want to make sure that I can get them to the next level. And to be honest, I feel like I've got lots of children out there, all the people in my academy, everyone that watches this around the world. I just feel like I want to get everyone to the next level and to get the conversation we're having amongst ourselves to the next level as well. So that's what scares me, is not being able to do this. I feel like I'm turning 48 on Friday. I feel like right now I've never been more in control of who I am and never had more of a chance to make an impact. And I would just hate it if I didn't have the next 20, 30, or 4 years to actually do it. So that's what scares me. At London Real, we believe that individual transformation can change the world. Join us and start your journey today.